All right, we're back. It's episode number 19 of Average Jim's Cooking Show. I appreciate you watching. Hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. As you know, we didn't really do a Thanksgiving episode. There was so much going on. It took about 4 hours to cook everything. If you subscribed to my Facebook page, you probably saw a lot of the pictures. But we're going to do stuffed pork chops tonight with some garlic mashed potatoes and some green beans. And again, I kind of like going step by step rather than showing everything at once. And that way it just makes it a little easier, breaks it up a little bit. So what we're going to start off over here, we've got some what's called double cut pork chops. These are pretty thick, and what we're going to do, you want to take a paring knife and basically cut into it. We're going to make a pocket inside the rib and cut through this fat a little bit. Got one done already, might as well show you. Basically you just cut it open like that. And like I said, we're going to make a stuffing a little bit later, and that's going to go inside of that. We'll fry them in a pan, and then we'll basically finish them off in the oven. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a little bit of a marinade here. I've got some olive oil. We're going to pour that into a bowl. Don't want to use too much. It's just going to be for 2 chops. So got a little bit of soy sauce we're going to add. It's going to add a nice little flavor. Not too much, just a little bit right there. And then we're going to add a little bit of honey, add some sweetness to it. You could add brown sugar if you wanted to. I just like honey. It's going to stick to the pork chop a little bit better, kind of make a nice glaze for it. So we'll just go in about 2 tablespoons of honey right there. Of course, a little bit of salt and pepper. And when you start to mix, some of the saltiness of the soy sauce, black pepper, honey, things like that, and ends up being what's called savory. You have a lot of different flavors. Got a garlic press here, nice little birthday present. I'm going to smash a clove of garlic into there too. Just dump that right in, make sure it's on there. And we're going to mix that up real quick. And again, just kind of get the honey mixed together, get everything incorporated. And you want to let this set up. Some people will brine pork chops in like a salt, sugar, water solution. I don't think you have to do that. I think this will just add enough flavor to it. You want to let it set up, 15 minutes, half an hour at the most. It doesn't really take too long. There's going to be a lot of flavor going on with that. So basically, take your chop, dunk it in, pull up the other side there, get everything nice and coated. Now we're just going to sit it in the pan for now. So I'm going to finish prepping some of the other ingredients like for the stuffing. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. We're back. We're going to start making the stuffing here. Just a little pat of butter in a pan. We're going to let that melt down a little bit. I'm going to add some olive oil. Again, butter for flavor, oil for cooking. I've got 1 apple chopped up. We're going to let that go. About 1/4 of an onion just diced up. And 1 rib of celery diced up there. Gonna add a little pinch of salt, kosher salt, of course some black pepper. Let that go. And a little bit of crushed rosemary. That's gonna add a nice flavor in with everything. Just a pinch of that. Just dump that right in there. And we're gonna let that saute. It's gonna take about 7 or 8 minutes to kind of soften everything up. And then when we come back, we'll put the stuffing together, so we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, you can see our mixture here is pretty softened up. So what we're going to do, we're going to pour that into a bowl. Just get everything in there. Now it's still pretty hot. You're going to want to let it cool down a little bit because we're going to be stuffing the chops with this. And I've got here basically 6 pieces of bread, just sliced up, like using fresh bread with this. I'm going to take a big pinch of parsley, throw that in there. Again, a little bit more salt and a little more black pepper. Let's get that in there. And we're going to add some chicken broth. Start out slow, just about maybe 4 ounces. A lot of times you're going to use a lot of broth because most people that use breadcrumbs and stuffing use dried breadcrumbs. So you have to add a lot of broth to it to kind of rehydrate that bread. Since this is fresh bread, it's pretty soft already. So we're just going to mix that together, let everything come together, add a little bit more broth in there. And then we're going to let it cool down just a little bit more. And obviously we've got too much to stuff inside 2 pork chops, so the rest of it will go into a casserole dish. I'll just bake that off in the oven. It's kind of an extra side dish. So we'll be back here in a minute and we'll stuff the chops and get those going. We're back. We're going to start putting the pork chops together. Remember I said we cut them open in a little pocket. So you're going to take some of the stuffing and you're just going to shove it down in there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to pan fry these for a few minutes. Get all that in there. Because we want them to sear on each side. Just to take just a few minutes, keep an eye on them. Get your stuffing in there. Like I said, the rest of the stuffing we're going to cook in a casserole dish, kind of as a side. So once you get everything in there pretty good, go ahead and put them in the pan, and then we'll finish them off in the oven. So we're going to let that go, and we'll be right back. All right, so you can see the pork chops got a nice sear on them. They've been in the pan here a few minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to transfer them to a baking pan. Just let them slide right in there. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and finish these off in the oven. 350-degree oven. Just to let everything cook through thoroughly. The pork, we'll cook it all the way through. So we're going to set that in there. And we've got a casserole with our extra stuffing. We're going to put that in there as well. And like I said, let that go about 15 minutes. We'll be right back and we'll start working on our sides for green beans. Alright, we're back. So what we're going to do, I got just a pot here, about 3 pieces of bacon diced up. We're going to throw that in the pot. And again, just let it go a few minutes. Or if you want to. I went by the farmer's market yesterday. They really didn't have that much. So it's okay to use frozen vegetables if you want to. Usually don't do it, but that's a good brand. So we're going to pour the whole bag in there that we got leftovers. So that's going to kind of steam by itself a little bit, some of that stuff there, and a big clove of garlic. We're going to dump that in there as well. Give it a nice flavor. A little salt, pepper, some butter if you want to. Let it go about 10 minutes and those will be ready. So when we come back, we'll work on the mashed potatoes and we'll be almost ready to go. We're back. Everything's just about finished. The baked potatoes, for the mashed potatoes, I went ahead and boiled them about 15-20 minutes. I left the skin on some of them. I just like the texture. So that we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic. Get that in there. That's about a 1/4 cup of parsley. Dump that in there. Big pinch of salt and some crushed black pepper. Now the potatoes are pretty soft from the cooking. We're going to do this by hand. I just prefer to do it that way, and we get about 6 ounces of milk. You can use cream if you want to. You just want to pour that in, and we're basically going to start mashing potatoes. So it'll be done in a few minutes, and then when we come back, I will start plating everything up. We'll be ready to eat, so we'll see you in a few. Alright, everything's out of the oven. You can see our pork chops there, our stuffing. So I'm going to go ahead to the plate. I'm going to grab some of these green beans, just set them right up there. Get some of our mashed potatoes. Just going to set those right up in the middle there. Come in, grab one of our pork chops. I'm just going to set that right up front. And we're going to grab a little bit extra for that stuffing. I'm just going to put that right on the side there. I did make a pan gravy for it if you want it. It's basically just a roux, chicken broth, and some stuff. So some spices. So there it is. Stuffed pork chop, some garlic mashed potatoes, long beans, a little extra apple stuffing. Hope you enjoy. That was episode number 19, stuffed pork chops. I enjoyed making it. I'm definitely going to enjoy eating it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. As always, if you want to leave me a comment on Facebook or YouTube, any suggestions, I definitely appreciate it. As always, take care. We'll see you next time.